Our student speaker today will be Bonnie Dockstader.
When Israel battled the Philistines, it was a small, scattered nation, vulnerable to much larger and stronger neighbors. The Philistines had settled along the coastal plains, bringing with them advanced military technology, including iron weapons and chariots. Israel, on the other hand, had no standing army and was mostly relying on the bronze weapons. They were outmatched in almost every way, especially when it came to fighting Philistine warriors. Goliath, the Philistine champion, was a walking symbol of their power, described as nearly 10 feet tall, wearing heavy armor and wielding a massive spear. He wasn't just a giant. He was a killing machine. For 40 days, he came out each morning and evening to challenge the camp of Israel. "If I defeat your champion," he taunted, "you'll be our servants. If you defeat me, then we'll see." No one, not even Israel's mightiest soldiers, dared to step forward. Goliath's size, his strength, and his reputation seemed insurmountable. Enter David, a young shepherd not even old enough to fight in the army. David had come to the battlefield to deliver food to his brothers serving in King Saul's army. When he heard Goliath's defiant taunts, something stirred inside him. He couldn't stand to hear the name of God mocked. And he couldn't understand why no one was willing to face the giant. Why were they intimidated? Goliath was nothing compared to the strength of God. David's courage wasn't born from military training. It came from his faith. He wasn't timid. Protecting his flock of sheep from wild animals required guts. Still, he'd never used a weapon besides his sling. Believing the same God who delivered him his flocks from would protect him, David stepped forth to accept the challenge. When King Saul reluctantly agreed to let David face Goliath, he tried to dress him in his own armor, but David found it too heavy. Instead, he chose 5 smooth stones along with his sling, the simple tools of a shepherd. What's your Goliath? What challenges do you face? While we may not face literal giants who threaten our way of life each day, we are regularly challenged with situations that would rob us of our courage. The devil wants to extinguish the fire in our bones, to paralyze us, like Saul's army, into indecision and fear. These daily Goliaths are no less menacing, though they may be less visible. When facing our Goliath, does it taunt us into believing we can't prevail? Or do we step up, have faith, and trust that God is with us? Each of us are products of the new and everlasting covenant. Like David, our father is Abraham's God. We, too, come in the name of the Lord Almighty. Fear not is a blanket of safety, guidance, reassurance, and protection. It inspires courage and resilience, reminding us that we confront our struggles with hope and strength. "Have I not commanded you?" said the Lord to Israel. "Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." When people offer us comfort in our times of fear, it can often feel trite or patronizing. What scares one might not frighten another. Don't be afraid. It's okay. There's no monsters. But God understands our fears. He knows that what He's commanding when He tells us, "Fear not." And He backs His command up with support. He promises He is with us, and He has proved it. Do we believe? And are we willing to put our full trust in God and show Him we have by doing what He has asked? Can we have the courage of David? God created us and called us for this day. Our lives aren't a coincidence or an accident. We believe that children of the covenant are prepared and sent to the earth when they are needed. We have been prepared and nurtured for this day and time. Daniel was made for the den, David for Goliath, Peter and Paul for Rome, Nephi for Laman and Lemuel. The challenges we face in 2024 were made for us. We are the spirits that can handle these giants. We must not be disheartened by them, believing we can't overcome. We have already accomplished much through many dangers, toils, and snares. We've already come. Be honored that God chose us for this work, that He guards us each day to accomplish it. His grace has brought us safe thus far, and it will lead us home. We are a generation to conquer the Goliaths who stand in the way of Christ's reign on earth. Think how God needs us, each one. I pray we will rise up to the challenge. Be Daniels, Davids, Ruths, and Nephis. We were born for it. I pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Did you read the part? Yes. What's the word that stands out? What? Dismayed? That's an interesting word, dismayed. Who wants to give a suggestion? Dismayed. Give me another word for dismayed. What do you say?
Discouraged,
Discouraged.
disheartened,
Disheartened. There's more.
distracted,
Distracted. Huh.
doubtful, distressed.
That's a boy question. Bewildered? Is that what you said?
Yes. Concern.
Good words. Think about them. That's an interesting word. We understand fear, but dismayed. That's another word. Very excellent quote to be talking about this morning. This is what challenges us. As you think this morning, think about dismay.
As Bonnie was talking, she talked about the Goliaths that we face and that we don't really face a literal giant each day. And I got wondering, okay, what are my Goliaths? And then I got thinking, well, what are my stones? What stones am I using to take down my Goliaths? And one came to mind, and I thought I'd share it with you. It might come in useful. One of my stones that I use is quiet. Not jumping in with my opinion every second. Not contributing to criticism. Not putting my opinion out on everything, and that just came to my mind this morning, and I thought I'd share it with you. So maybe as you think about what dismays you, maybe you can also think about what are your shepherd's tools. What little stones can you keep in your bag to fight off your Goliaths. So yeah, I appreciate our messages this morning, and with that we can go to class.